must commit suicide. What is this?
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't convinced, genuinely, both ways. Even if there are other people, some of the people, for example, what substantial material change is going to be? Is India going to declare that there's no ceasefire line anymore? Is she going to accept that this is violated for good, and therefore every Kashmiri is allowed to cross? If that is not going to happen, then what is the substantial change? And if the kid and other people just flee, you see, and run away, it's going to be a very big flop, like it happened last year.
Yeah.
So there's no substantial achievement that one can convince himself of. I mean, you see, if I'm convinced that an inch of Kashmir could be liberated by laying down 100 lives, I might be prepared to lay down my life first. But the question is, when I know that that's not going to happen, then what is the substantial achievement? Publicity, of course, is all right. It has been publicized, a lot of pressure has been brought in on India, and the international community is very concerned. So that's all right. That's an achievement, that's it. But beyond that, there's nothing substantial to be achieved.
Well, one of the views seems to be that if everyone is giving sacrifices on the other side, we have to give sacrifices here.
Very right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't dispute that. I don't disagree with that. But for that purpose, sacrifice does not mean suicide. This is open suicide, which is going to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Well, if I was to, for example, we launched, I actually initiated a crossing violation of the ceasefire line, armed violation of the ceasefire line in 1952. I'd been arrested and I was in jail for 15 months for that. So it's a crossing like this, unarmed and walking through a roadside. That does not really not justify it. That doesn't give you any reason to hope that some substantial change is going to take place.
So the worst is that they may not even fire. I mean, they are so heavily mined area.
Yes.
That most casualties are likely to take place on account of collected mines. And that's no way of dying. I mean, you can't even highlight the Indian brutality if people are killed by trampling on mines.
Sir, all right, even if Indian brutality is highlighted, the question is how much India has shown respect for human rights, and on the other hand, India has been supported by America, condemning Pakistan for supporting terrorism. Instead of being ashamed of themselves, instead of condemning India for committing all these brutalities, they have encouraged India by saying, no, Pakistan is also supporting terrorism. Criminal on the part of people in the world. So it's no use to telling Indians that it is like Russians. Russians had no respect for human rights, and they didn't bother till, of course, they came to an end. That might, the same end might confront India at one time, but they will not be concerned with the human rights, respect for human rights. Nobody, the Americans cannot force them, the British cannot force them, nobody can force them. They're a big country, they have the stakes in India, these countries, and the political situation also. And of course the Americans are very, very much concerned with, as you know, this Afghan business, the war which was won by the support of Americans is being lost because Americans think that a government headed by these mujahideen and religious people will not be in the global interest. So it might be the same in India. They won't bother about respect for human rights, but they support India because they think that Pakistan gaining strength with these Muslim countries around might not be in their favor.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate. It's what it is.
Yeah.
I explained to the American investor the other day, I said, Pakistan is inhabited by overwhelmingly moderate Muslims. We don't have that class of fundamentals, and whatever the class of fundamentals we have had, it was nourished by the Americans themselves in the form of Pakistan for a long time. So, but I said, if you push us against the wall and support the regime and support anti-Islam elements in this country for nothing, then even a man like me who's been a moderate all his life, his blood starts boiling. What is all encourage and support the moderate Muslims who's everywhere in the world, instead of causing a situation where even the moderates had to react.
Yes, yes. But it's interesting how, everyone sort of tries to get a piece of the action. When you said different groups are playing for different things. Now, on this particular case of Aman Lahan, Jamaat Islami, of course, who have different objectives, as you know, are playing a much different game. And they are now, they're obviously angry that Amanullah is getting all the attention. So now they've scheduled this Kashmir conference, which is going to take place tomorrow. Then all these other...
What Kashmir conference?
It's a sort of international gathering. It's all the
I think they're having this sort of a gathering for the last 2-3 years.
Yes, yes.
It is known as international gathering, but there's hardly any...
This was a Jarabi comes, and the few of the Afghan Mujahideen come.
That doesn't make it international.
Yes, yes. But obviously everyone now is trying to get in on the act. Yes. So Amanullah has done everyone a favor by publicizing Kashmir and the way that India has called in the Security Council ambassadors in India, that has in effect internationalized it last year.
This is what some paper has commented.
Yeah. Although India denies it, but and the ambassadors here are also getting involved in discussing with the Foreign Office about this.
You see, if India doesn't see reason, I honestly tell you that the government of Pakistan today is in a position to exercise her authority in stopping or diluting the movement. But maybe in a short while she will not be in a position to do that. If any next time, within a period of 5-6 months to a year, another call is given by one of or by myself or by somebody for crossing the ceasefire line, the government of Pakistan will not be able to stop.
But the unfortunate thing is that I realize that Pakistan gives support more than political support, but there are other kinds of support is diluting the case of Pakistan, of Kashmir, because before it was a issue of self-determination of Kashmir. Now in the minds of all diplomats, all Western capitals, it is also a question of it's a territorial dispute, because Pakistan is very much involved in Kashmir now.
Because Pakistan is a party internationally, recognized party in the dispute.
But involved in a way that people feel is not.
I think it is less involved than it should have been involved according to the international rights.
But whereas last year, there used to be always a shadow of a doubt. People would say, well, they're turning a blind eye, maybe they're not, maybe it's not official involvement. Now everyone talks very affirmatively as a fact that Pakistan is involved. And this, of course, anchors Western capitals because they say, well, this is not a Kashmiri issue. This is Pakistan, getting back at India. This is Pakistan backed.
But that has been the recognized position of the foreign governments all the time.
But there was
that it was a dispute between India and Pakistan.
Yes, but still last year people did not. There was a question about how much Pakistan was involved. Now they say definitive. So therefore, when they come to talk to Pakistan, they talk quite tough with them now, saying you've got to stop their involvement.
I think that is deliberate. Pakistan's involvement has not increased or decreased. It has been the same. You see, that's not deliberate and political maneuvering for the global interests.
I think most people believe, sir, that it has increased. Certainly from the science we see, definitely it has. So,
the government of Pakistan cannot stay out of it. If they stay out of it, there will be war inside here. How will they stay out of it?
Yes, I realize they can't. And of course, their defense is that the movement is essentially indigenous.
Of course it is.
Anything that Pakistan does not change the movement, although I think it is an effect on the political character of the valley. And, but of course that just angers India and makes them big areas even more.
India is trying to become a policeman of the region. I don't think she can become that. By trying to do that, she's demolishing her own very existence.
During the last 2 years, the Indian government has not been able to produce a single person who was a Pakistani national who was fighting for the
Yeah.
All the Mujahideen, they have captured, they have taken. They have not so far made any claim that they have captured a Pakistani national.
Yeah. It was something in Afghanistan, but army didn't have to send in Pakistani, they just sent in tribal, who you can always say are Afghans rather than Pakistanis. And in Kashmir, they can send in Kashmiri if they don't need to send in Pakistanis, lots of Kashmiris.
No, there's a difference you see the ceasefire line, division of the ceasefire line. Every person who belongs to this other ceasefire line, he can easily recognize that he is from this side. It was not the same with Afghanistan. Afghanistan was altogether
It's a
different.
linguistic brilliant, in fact.
Yes, yes, yes.
Here even the language is not the same.
Yes.
Complexion is not the same. Their behavior is not the same. They're totally two different people.
But they're still, Kashmiri rather than a
I myself claim to be a Kashmiri, but Kashmiri talk of Kashmiri speak to people.
Yeah.
They're quite different. You see, they can be recognized, identified from a distance.
Yes.
And India has not been able to produce one so far. Either the involvement is so little, it is so small that it cannot be located. And if that is so, then it is of no avail. Or if there is any involvement, it has not been located by India so far, and India has been lying about it.
The training is there. Training.
Trainees, we can send any amount of trainees from there, but we have not done that. We have retired people from SSG, commandos, trained people belonging to our Kashmir soil, and they would have gone in very easily and given training there, or they would have trained people there, but they haven't done that. And if they were trained by competent professional trainees, means you could imagine that the quality of operation would not be this which you see inside. If you ever come across the activities of the military people, and the Pakistan Army has produced perhaps one of the best professionals as far as training is concerned. Leave aside the mechanized warfare and all that, but that's different. But individually speaking, human sources, we have produced one of the best people. And that has been my objection all along. You see, I was saying that if Pakistan Army or the people trained by Pakistan Army, even those are Kashmiris, if they were to give training, they would not give this stupid way of lousy training. You see that they have seen demonstrating there. One Indian soldier who is already demoralized, killing 10, 20 people at random. What is that training that has been given to them? In this mountainous region, one sniper is enough to hold a battalion for 24 hours. And it is happening just the other way around. These demoralized, half-trained, half-baked Indian troops, they're killing people, duck shooting, the boys you see across. Is this what the trained people would do?
Some of them have been trained by the Afghans. Some of them have been trained by the Afghans. And
yes, definitely. We know that they've been trained by Afghans, but training by Afghans is totally different to a training by a competent professional soldier.
Yeah.
The Afghan training is not suited to the pattern of warfare in Kashmir. In Kashmir, you would have a different pattern altogether.
Yeah. People who say they come from training. People who, my colleagues talk to in Srinagar say they've been trained in Pakistan.
Quite possible. You see, some people here, everywhere, see armament and better training here and there from indigenous resources. But if they're trained by proper professionals, is what I was saying, in an organized manner, then the quality of operation would not be this that you see. It would be altogether different. One boy gets up, you see, according to the reports that he had, he starts shooting at random with automatics until he empties all his magazines and throws it away. Is that the way a soldier would behave, a trained soldier?
Fighting fish battles.
A trained soldier would, and fighting fish battle is not the pattern of a trained soldier. A trained soldier, I thought about, we maintain our forces in Poonch sector for more than 3 months, having only 10 bullets per man. Because everybody was ordered to fire only when he knew that he was going to kill. Nobody would fire. Here these boys open fire at random, you see, and throw the gun away and go away. This is not what the trained people would do. A trained soldier would play havoc with the Indian army with the kind of terrain that they had.
So maybe they should bring all the retired officers out of there.
You might do that, yes. Yes, of course you might do that. Why not? If this activity prolongs, many of them, without even asking us, we should go and join.
certainly do, a retired officer like you.
I would love to go there. Maybe sometimes when it becomes impossible to contain all this, what is happening,
Yes.
maybe I may also join.
Yes. See, this is the trend, when he was president, he wasn't active enough. So then he becomes prime minister, he's not active enough. So then he's going to throw away all the memos, all the files, and just go into the bush. Yes.
Yes. That suits my temperament.